Hello everybody, my name's Tony Reid. I'm the Academic Registrar and Director of Student Services here at the University of Sunshine Coast. And I'd like to start by acknowledging the traditional owners on the land in which we meet. This happens to be the Gubbi Gubbi people in this wonderful state of Queensland in Australia. And I'd also like to pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. Now, besides me, I have...
Hi, I'm Creole Wihongi. I'm studying a Bachelor of International Studies and a Bachelor of Law here at the University of the Sunshine Coast.
And Creole is one of our students as partners, and she will be giving her perspective on what it is to be a student as partner at the University of the Sunshine Coast. Before we start, I'll just talk a little bit about the University of the Sunshine Coast and the Australian higher education sector. There's about 40 public universities within Australia, and the Uni of the Sunshine Coast is one of the newer unis. It established itself in 1996 and it has about 20,000 students, all in Queensland, a northern state on the east coast of Australia. The main disciplines of study within the university are nursing and health, and also education with a STEM focus developing. We have 5 campuses and 2 research facilities as well where we do most of our work. We're predominantly an undergraduate teaching university, but as I said, we have some research focus, which is mainly in sustainable areas such as forestry and of course the water. My role as the registrar is that of a typical registrar from admissions through to graduations, but I also have the support services included within my domain. So USC is a centre-led model, so we provide those services across all of the university. So that means we have all the front of house services, we have the support services within our remit. Further to my role at USC, I'm also on the board of directors for ANZA, which is the Australian New Zealand Student Services Association, which has about 4,000 members, and it's about a professional development group for leaders within the student services area across the sector in Australia and New Zealand. We have its annual conference in December, and we'd love to have members such as yourself attending this conference turn up, or virtually all in person, to our conference being held in December. So the university's Students as Partner, or SAP model, is quite well advanced and it's been in place now for about 6 or 7 years. And its primary focus is to ensure that we give students a genuine vote into how decisions are made across the university. But we also want to make sure that we work towards developing appropriate graduate attributes for the students to enhance their employability. There's a range of services which we get our students involved in, which Creole will talk about later. But key things that we do will be things like the Student Leadership Awards, which are given out. But we also have key committees such as the Student Senate and the SRCs. Okay, on that basis, I might hand over now to Creole, who will talk about her personal experiences.
I'm a member of the Students as Partners team here at the University of the Sunshine Coast, and my team is made up of 6 members, 4 students and 2 staff. Within that team, I get the opportunity to work on a range of different activities. They include event facilitation and planning, professional development workshops, and we also support a team of over 400 student representatives, student volunteers and student leaders. Personally, my journey with Students as Partners began when I was in my 2nd year of university. I had a few friends from an international country come, and they were unfamiliar with the services that the university had to offer, and they also had some feedback that they weren't sure who to speak to about. I knew that Students as Partners was available for them, and it's something that was also unfamiliar to me, but I wanted to get involved, and I've always been the type of person who enjoys getting into the community and meeting new people, and so I felt this would be the best avenue for me to do that. Within my experience as a volunteer, in that role, I was able to meet a range of other passionate students and also staff members who were willing and ready to help with those concerns. A few months after that, I was fortunate enough to gain employment with the Students as Partners program, and that's when I joined my team, and it's been honestly one of the most enriching and rewarding experiences that I've had while I've been here at university. I would say I'm quite a creative person, but typically when you hear about law students, you hear it can be quite a dry degree. And so I felt that within Students as Partners, I was able to let that creativity come out in a lot of different ways. They trusted us as students to have the autonomy to create programs that would be able to fill the student gap. So being positioned as a student in a team where you work with staff, you're seeing areas that aren't necessarily being solved. And so within that, they said, okay, go ahead, solve these problems, look at things that you could add to this, look at ways that it could be done differently, and show us your ideas. And so I was able to really get involved with that, come up with a range of different professional development opportunities, and actually formulate the training for that as well. So not only did it help me with my immediate personal growth, but I felt that for my future, in terms of where I'd like to go with my career, I now have those skills to transfer. Something that I'd like to do when I graduate from university is work in community development. I'm also very interested in human rights law. And so working within this team has given me the tools that I need to see how governance works from that bottom-up approach. It's also looking at the different people that we need to interact with in order to solve real concerns. And it's given me the confidence that I need to meet people to address solutions in a professional manner, which I can see are very beneficial skills for that community development and international human rights law career pathway. In Students as Partners, we have been involved in a range of different projects. The first project that I'd like to speak about is something a little bit more fun and something that was actually developed through student feedback. So this activity is called Meet and Eat activities, and essentially what they are is an opportunity for individual representative groups to host an activity, host a themed food or a party or something that is relative to their representative group that they can present to students on campus. And so this started quite small, only last year, and as it was in its development phases, it attracted quite a lot of attention from students on campus and was able to spread that awareness. It also gave students the autonomy that they needed to create activities and things that they were really passionate about, and gave them an avenue to do that. So Meet and Eat has become quite popular, and every week we're seeing over 100 students attend these activities, and it's expanded to the point where we're not only having it on this university campus, but it's now extended to 3 of the 5 campuses that USC have. And that to me is a testimony to how powerful student impact and student voice can be when it's recognised by staff members, and when students are given that autonomy to be able to create activities and events that they're passionate about. The second project that we've been working on is the Student Senate. And so within my role as in Students as Partners, I am the Student Senate Secretary. And so I get to see decisions being made that directly affect teaching and learning outcomes from a very closely involved level. So I get to work closely with the students, I get to see the staff, and how that interconnection actually happens in terms of dissolving those barriers between students and staff. And so we've been able to implement changes to teaching and learning forms. We've come out with a lot of different surveys so that we can gain as much feedback as possible from students. And all of that information has been filtered right up to the top executive governing body at the University of the Sunshine Coast. And we've been able to make real changes. And that's just an exciting concept, to think that your voice is actually being heard, and to think that there is a system in place that allows that change to happen at that level. So being a part of this program has been really exciting. I've seen my own personal confidence develop a lot. I see how this can benefit me in the future, and for my friends that have also gotten involved with employment through the university, it's been the exact same experience for them. And yeah, overall it's something that I would recommend everybody get involved in, because the level of development you'll gain in this capacity is so much more than I think what you could gain from a typical university degree. And I think that's something to be celebrated.
Oh, well, thanks for that, Creole. That was great. And as you can see, there's fantastic opportunities for students within the university here to be a SAP or student as partner. And we were talking to ourselves just earlier about how one of the key drivers is to ensure that the students as partners is probably the biggest employee group within the university. So that's the goal, to build it over the next few years. There's a number of other areas which Creole hasn't mentioned, such as the student experience mentors, where we get our SAPs effectively to speak to our commencing cohorts, welcoming them to the university, making sure they're adjusting okay to the university environment and so forth. And they have tended to be fantastic because they've got program-specific knowledge to the students they're speaking to, so they understand the day-to-day outings of their time here at the university. But I suppose, Creole, there's many other opportunities as well which we could grow in. Yeah. So you mentioned to me about professional development being a key driver as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep, something that's very popular amongst students, and that is very relevant if we're looking at how that can be applied in the future, particularly around graduating and career development.
So the SAP model is always emerging and growing, and so it'd be really interesting to see where we are in 5 years' time. But hopefully this will become the standard for many of you at your universities, and we welcome feedback from you across the globe in terms of what we can do next. Thank you.
Thank you.